Hi, it's me again. I'm not a scientist or a medical doctor. These are my opinions and any product suggestions I give based on my experience. I am in no way, shape, or form paid by any of the brands I recommend. If anything, we are the ones buying these brands and using them in my salon on clients. Nor do we ship products. We are just a hair salon that offers retail companion products to our services. I have no benefit or gain in producing or making this content. It is simply to help people with buildup and hair loss concerns because both things are often related and both things super suck. Let's get into part 3, the Pandora's box that Olaplex opened. What to use to get off Olaplex and just generally to restore your hair and to get over the hump of the damage. And there are a lot of different issues that I've seen in the Olaplex Facebook group. Video 1 was the deep dive and it went over all of the chemicals and it just went over a lot of stuff. Video 2 was more about the toxic culture and the marketing surrounding the brand. In this video, I'm going to go over the products that I recommend when you first stop using Olaplex. I'm going to try to compound all of the different issues because there were so many in the Facebook group that I've seen so far. Unfortunately, I think it's a range between hair damage, hair loss, scalp damage, possible follicle damage, and severe allergic reactions to the chemicals. And because of this huge range of issues, unfortunately, that's why the lawsuit has stalled, that because there is no commonality in the different issues, it's hard to nail down that it's actually Olaplex causing all of these issues, but I sincerely believe it is. So in this video, I'm going to try to stay on topic. It's kind of hard because I do digress into other areas because it is a large conversation. So what I have not done in the other videos is tell you who I am. My name is Jimmy Vinson. I am a stylist and salon owner in Kansas City. I have mentored my staff that are all badass stylists and colorists. They've been with me for many, many years. I left college to do this and I started out in a high-end salon. I began as a cutting specialist under a stylist who was fairly famous in our industry. I opened my salon when I was 24 in 2001 and I went to L'Oreal Academy in New York for color, and then I became a blonde specialist. I'm certified in a bunch of different extension techniques. I educate in my salon, out of my salon, advocate for our industry. Personally, in my industry, I think I've gone far. I've gone a long ways. When my dad told me, hey, if you're going to leave college for this, you better take it as far as you can go. I took that to heart and I tried to do that. And my goal has been to elevate our industry since. I love writing. I've been blogging since 2002 because very quickly I learned there is just a lot of BS in the multi-billion-dollar beauty industry. I'm a real person and there's a lot of fake, misleading marketing in the entire industry. I grew up in a small town south of Kansas City on a ranch. I rode equestrian, did trail riding. We had chickens. We had a vegetable garden. My family's old American, old Missouri. My dad and grandpa were builders. So I often take a very pragmatic approach to things like when problem solving or troubleshooting. We went to the doctor, but I also believe in old world remedies. My mom had a lot of those. I still use and share her recipes, which were my great-great-grandma's, hundreds of years old, and they were. After this, I'm working on a companion video about things like the Farmer's Almanac, when to cut your hair on the moon cycle, castor packs, poultices you can make, stuff I live by and use today. Sometimes I will insert some clips from a morning show that I used to be a guest host on. It was a lifestyle morning show, and for 5 years I did a lot of different segments on different beauty topics. Those are on our salon YouTube channel at Studio 39 Salon if you wanted to see any of those episodes. I stopped doing that in 2018 or 2019 when I opened a second salon location. But for reference, there is a wealth of information. A lot of these things that people are talking about today have been talked literally forever in our industry. But if you wanted to see those episodes, they are housed at that YouTube channel. My blog is on our website at studio39salon.com. Okay, let's get to the products. Actually, first, let's talk about triage because this is important because I was all over the place on the Facebook Olaplex page. There are so many issues and everybody's issues are kind of different because everybody's hair is different. I was raised that in any emergency situation, you always want to do a triage. You need to be calm, assess the damage, prioritize concerns, and then start treating them individually. That is kind of hard to do with scalp and hair because they are one continuous connected ecosystem. But scalp, it's part of your head. Your brain is less than 2 inches from your scalp. And after we process the fact that we've been putting chemical epoxies and hardeners, I'm sure are loaded with heavy metal content on our head, Let's just make a promise to not be influenced by influencers. Even if a professional recommended these products to you, do the research independently and get back to the basics of hair care and not overthink it, because it is marketed to make you overthink your hair. Hair is just nothing but dead skin cells. So we're going to put a pin in the hair damage for now, and we're going to prioritize scalp. I had a lot of questions in the group about products that I recommended when I talked about pH balance, and I want to explain that a little bit because it's really important to understand your body chemistry and how your scalp and your skin work. So the pH scale goes from low numbers to high, and we humans are actually acidic. We're low on the pH scale. Tap water is at a 7. It is considered neutral. And then the higher up the scale goes, it's considered more alkaline. So I don't want you to confuse this with the alkaline diet. I know in a lot of green eating or healthy food forums, they talk about alkaline water and alkaline foods. We're talking about body chemistry and chemicals and the alkalinity versus acidity and how it relates to us and our bodies on our skin. So our skin and our scalp are covered in something called the acid mantle. It is a protective barrier against allergens, bacteria. It prevents inflammatory conditions. Now, when we use chemical products or do chemical services in a salon, it raises the pH of our hair. And sometimes your hair can actually process for up to 24 hours after you get a highlight or a bleach service, a perm, any chemical service. Technically, conditioners are supposed to close the cuticle and bring the pH back down. I personally do not feel that they do. We use special products in the salon to stop the oxidation or the processing of hair color and bleach. This is especially important in a double process color like bleach and tone, so that the toner will take to the hair, because when the hair is still oxidizing and it's super porous from the bleach, the toner often doesn't deposit well into the hair. Back in the day, I used to use a mineral treatment, a protein treatment to help the toner attach. Recently, we are using the Malibu vitamin C crystals. Now Malibu has a product called Detox that we use. Olaplex number 2 claimed to have done this. So even when I used the number 1, I very rarely used the number 2 because it takes 10 minutes to process at the bowl. Like if conditioners are not processing in 2 to 5 minutes nowadays, I don't want to fool with them. That's too much time at the bowl, because bowl work itself is so much now. If you are a color specialist in a salon, the bowl work is the second part of the lightening service, where we do the toning, we do base breaking, we do all the conditioning treatments. Sometimes clients are like hanging out there for like 30 minutes. Adding another 10 minutes on that was just never appealing to me. So I usually close my service with Metal Detox by L'Oreal Professional. Metal Detox, the product. There was also some confusion. I think people were saying things like, yes, I did a metal detox. There are so many different products out there that are labeled metal detox. There are actual metal detox diets you can do. When I am referencing metal detox, I am referencing this product. Now, last year I did do a video on metal detox, and I went into a great amount of detail, of course, on metal detoxing your body and your hair. I recommend watching that video because it expands on why it is important that you remove the metals in your hair. And metals are often found in chemicals, and with the amount of chemicals in Olaplex, I have to believe that there are some kind of concerning metals that are accumulating on people's hair. So we're going to talk about the scalp products and the scalp treatments to do first. So step 1 should be focusing on restoring the natural pH of your scalp. You can screenshot above. It's one of my DIY recipes. This is just a good foundational oil. I'm a pro and I still use this. I'm a blonde and I do all over color on my roots. My scalp is always very dry when I get color done. Once a year, I do a bleach and tone. God bless our bleach and tone clients. I don't know how the hell they do every 4 to 6 weeks, because I'm a huge baby when I get it done once a year. Since I'm a natural blonde, what I do is I just usually do my base every 4 to 5 weeks year round, and then it gets increasingly gold throughout the year at the root area, not gonna lie. That's why I kind of white it out once a year with a bleach and tone. I've heard a lot of people talk about using bleach on their hair to get Olaplex out. I do not recommend this. I mean, damage is part of the issue. Putting more increasingly harsh chemicals on your hair to remove harsh chemicals is just unproductive in my opinion. If some of you have done this and it has worked, good for you, but I have to believe that your hair is going to be more torched, and that is the second layer of these issues. First the scalp, then the damage and dryness. Look, I'm just saying, as a bleach specialist, why further inflame the scalp and promote hair dryness, which is the reason why the hair is breaking. Furthermore, it is going to compound the issue at the scalp, because bleach is going to throw off the pH balance of your scalp, which is already out of whack, even more. So one thing I also discussed in this group was the whole myth about sulfates and how sulfate-free is just a trigger marketing phrase to get you to buy the shampoo or the products. Shampoos are supposed to clean your hair, folks. Shampoos are not unicorn tears. They are not a bottle filled with hopes and dreams. Its job, its purpose is to simply clean your scalp, clean your hair from normal accumulative oil, dirt, environmental debris. The stuff with Olaplex, I acknowledge, is not normal. Though I am already digressing, let's talk about shampoo because most of you are not doing it enough. Oh God, here we go. Let's say you have average hair thickness and amount. You should be doing it at least 3 to 5 times a week. 3 at the bare minimum. Dry shampoos are not a shampoo. They're not even a cleanser. They are generally loaded with flammable propellants. Dry shampoo is a styling agent. It just kind of absorbs dirt and oil, which means it dries your hair out. I don't recommend dry shampoos at all, to be honest. If it's time to use a dry shampoo, it's time to shampoo your hair. And yes, I used dry shampoos when I was younger and I wanted to do messy bun day, but the older you get, your hair does not get more suddenly luxurious and thick and full and shiny and healthy. Girls, what you do to your hair and your skin in your 20s will show up in your 30s and 40s. So on top of people being confused on how often they should actually shampoo, they are confused on what shampoo does. People's hair is just getting increasingly dirtier and grosser over the last 30 years because of the whole sulfate-free / no shampoo movement going on right now. Unsubscribe from any influencer, whether they are professional or not, that is encouraging you to not shampoo your hair more, telling you that it is bad for your hair. That is absolute horseshit. This includes you curly girls because your hair is dense and is usually thicker. And this also includes multicultural hair. As a species, we just really need to move away from this notion that shampooing our hair is bad or stripping or it triggers more oil release at the scalp. The only reason I think that this was ever even a thing is because of Diva Curl. I mentioned that before. But between that and the whole sulfate-free thing, it is so permeated in our culture now that I have seen an entire generation come up now with just kind of bad hair. Like, I'm Gen X. I'm 48 years old. My son is, I don't even think he's Gen Z. I think he might be Gen Alpha. But hygiene in the salons with these younger generations is really a problem. So parents, really educate your kids on how to care for themselves, and hair care is a huge part of that. Our mane of hair is like a big atmospheric lint trap collecting dust molecules and particles and microscopic debris that you don't see. When you shampoo, always shampoo twice. So if you are trying to get off Olaplex, I recommend investing in a good daily gentle cleanser and a good clarifying shampoo. And if you don't want to get a clarifying shampoo, then get a clarifying treatment. We need to be careful with the word clarify, okay? Because that is just a deeper cleanse than regular daily cleansing that you would do with your regular shampoo. Traditionally, a clarifying treatment or a deeper cleansing shampoo was used to remove styling product. Back in the olden days, when the little old ladies would go to the beauty salon and get their curler set once a week with their short hair, we would always shampoo their hair with a clarifying treatment first because they were only getting their hair shampooed once a week. Like, that was my grandma's generation. Then my mom's generation came around. I don't know what they did. I mean, I know my mom was kind of hygiene fan, so she shampooed pretty frequently. But then in the 90s, when I was in high school, like, you didn't shampoo your hair every day, you were gross. But the clarifying treatment is just to remove deeper buildup, usually accumulated through styling products, and especially nowadays because so many styling products include oils that have silicones and conditioners have a lot of dimethicones. All the ones are silicone derivatives. So those things pile up on your hair pretty fast. And before this whole Olaplex thing happened and when people were using Olaplex, I don't think they were shampooing 3 to 5 times a week. If I had to guess, I don't really know. I'm just generalizing here based on what I've read. And again, this is generally not on an individual basis, but also, I don't think they were clarifying. So again, these were just a lot of compound problems that made this whole situation ripe for a total clown show. So my top pick to treat the scalp, and it's color safe, is Surface Awaken. This is a follicle stimulating shampoo line. It has a full treatment with it. It is the only professional line that has been nationally recognized and called the top pick by Elle, Allure. Several fashion and beauty magazines that are not related to our industry at all have recognized it as the #1 professional hair line that focuses on scalp at the follicular level to reboot and restart hair growth. This line is also a line I'm very familiar with because, like I said, we carry Surface We don't carry the whole line like we used to. We have really kind of focused on this product line within the brand. It is kind of expensive because it is also organic. They use high grade premium ingredients. They are sulfate free, but they cleanse the hair. It's a scalp line. So they use other things as alternative surfactants. This line is in my bathroom right now. I alternate it in once in a while. I don't really have hair loss necessarily. I do have a little bit of thinning around my face compared to when I was younger, but my fiance has been using this for 5 years now. I do think he would have experienced more thinning if he had not been using this. I have also seen a lot of hair growth on my clients over the last several years that we've been using this product. It often presents itself like small breakage. So if you see a lot of short hair sticking up out of your hair that looks like broken hair, don't be alarmed. That's likely new hair. You know, I haven't done one of my clients in a while because I've been very busy. And my niece, who is one of my head stylists, was doing her hair for me over the winter. She has very fine, thin blonde hair. She is perimenopause age. And I was like, what's going on with your hair? Why do you have all these little hairs sticking up? And Bree came over and she was like, doesn't Anita's hair look amazing? It's really filling in. She didn't even hear what I said right before. And thank God she was there because she kind of grounded me, and I almost like mentally and emotionally undid the work that this product was doing on my client. I almost got in my client's head because even I, as a professional, don't always recognize new hair growth for what it is. So it's really important to remember that new hair often looks like broken hair. This product is my top pick because I have experience with it. There is no greater recommendation than tested experience. If you get a recommendation to a stylist, hopefully you're asking people with hair like yours where they go get their hair done if you like the look of their hair. If you are looking for a product that is focusing on follicle health, scalp wellness, detox, this is the line I pick because they also have a scalp detox mask. It also checks a lot of boxes. It's organic, color safe. You can purchase this on their site, I believe, but I do recommend watching the video. The second line I recommend is Metal Detox. I've been talking about that a lot. There is a lot of benefits to this. I'm not going to expand on this because I have a whole video dedicated to this line. You can go watch. The third line I recommend is Enjoy. It is a low pH. It is a gentle line. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend their clarifying spray because it is a gentle clarifying spray, although I am very familiar with this clarifying spray. We used to carry this. We don't carry this anymore because I had to become more selective about the lines we use. And this is based out of California and they don't have a large local presence. And we need that kind of support from brands. And we get that support from other lines like L'Oreal Professional. When I say it's a gentle line, I mean it has a low pH across the board, but they do have some luxury shampoos and conditioners that you have to use the clarifying spray with occasionally because the luxury shampoo and conditioner in this line has panthenols in it to give hair that slip. I'm not a fan of panthenols. I need to explain my views on panthenols, and the reason why is not panthenols themselves. It's because of what I said before. People are just not cleansing or washing their hair the way they should. Panthenols are not bad. They're actually pretty good for your hair. They are pro B vitamins and they resurface the hair and they do act as a protein in hair and they fill in the weak spots. The problem is people just don't wash enough and they don't understand they need to clarify once every 4 washes. Let me clarify on their clarifying spray. I don't recommend that when trying to get the Olaplex off of your hair because it's a little too gentle. After you recover, it's a great clarifying spray. This line also has a scalp stimulator. I do not recommend this if you do not shampoo every day. If you are the person who shampoos every day, put it on at night and then shampoo it out in the morning. It does collect on the hair and make it look kind of sticky, like you've been stuck out in the rain. Cosmetically, it just didn't work for me because I don't shampoo every day. The fourth line I recommend, and I recommend a multitude of products out of this line, is Malibu Sea. We don't carry this line for retail. We carry some of their shampoos for certain situations, like in the summer, their swimmers shampoo and conditioner. We always have some on the shelf. We do use all of their treatments. The vitamin C crystal packs combined with their scalp line should benefit most people. About the CPR, it stands for Color Product Remover. We use it in the salon all the time before we do corrective colors. This is a professional product, so I do recommend it with some hesitation, especially if you have hair color. But if you have years of Olaplex buildup, this does remove everything from the surface of the hair down to the cortex layer. So the hair shaft is made up of 3 elements, the cuticle, cortex, and the medulla. The cuticle is the exterior part of the hair shaft. That is like a Christmas tree, and the little branches that kind of stick out, that is the exterior that we always talk about closing down the cuticle. The color gets underneath the cuticle and goes down to the cortex. This removes anything off of the hair down to the top of the cortex layer. For those people who have years of Olaplex buildup, this might be beneficial. Just know that it will remove color. If you have hair color in your hair will also feel very dry because you will have removed all of the surface conditioning elements that you have been putting on from other products. I feel like when removing Olaplex, deep conditioning treatments are going to be your best friend because you are constantly going to be trying to resurface the hair. Please stop looking for another bonder to replace Olaplex. That's not what you need. Olaplex has been resurfacing your hair with chemical hardeners that function almost kind of like an epoxy. So in the process of trying to remove that, you're going to be in a constant state of trying to resurface your hair to make it feel smooth and sleek again. And I want to dispel some myths about hydration and moisture. So there's not a huge difference between hydration and moisture with hair because hair, again, is dead skin tissue. It is not living skin tissue like our face. So it doesn't have natural hydration like our body does.
All summer, welcome back.
Hi, Gina. How are you?
Good. So in the summer, we slather our bodies
Yes.
in sunscreen. Do we need to be doing the same for our hair?
We need to be using some protective products for our hair, but not necessarily sunscreen.
Okay.
So that's a question we get frequently. Should I be using a sunblock on my hair?
Right, like the spray or something.
Well, SPF is actually just an acronym for sun protection factor, and it's not really relevant to hair because
Okay.
it's more for skin. And it contains a lot of binding elements in it that are actually greasy and they can weigh the hair down.
Oh.
And it's really more for living skin tissue, which hair is not.
Yeah, amen, sister. Mine is dead. All right.
Right.
This concept applies to hair in general in how we try to often compartmentalize it like we do with skincare. Moisture and hydration in hair care products is really just a lipid. It's like a fat. It's usually some sort of oil partnered with a humectant because humectants attract water or moisture from the atmosphere. I could go deeper into this, but I'll save it for a separate video.